crafty friends, happy Saturday. It's time to make some cards and watch some college football, though not at the same time. So we're going to do the cards first. Then we'll watch college football later, right? Okay, I decided I was going to go through my stash and look for all the Christmas papers I could find because I am down to scraps. Well, I found these two pieces in a very, very old book of Christmas papers. It was from Die Cuts with a View, I think. It was very old, but I thought it was so pretty. So I wanted to make my first card with this, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's not glitter exactly, but it's like glitter. Can you see that? I thought it was gorgeous. And then this green matches this green exactly because it came from the same book. I think it's one I got at Hobby Lobby or maybe Michael's many years ago. But I'm looking everywhere for stamps and tools and scraps, whatever I can find. Because like I said, I am running out of Christmas paper. So we're going to use Cardz TV Sketch number 17 for this first card. And I like this because you can put 3 elements right over here. And I've got some today because I found this also. This is a Martha Stewart punch. I know I got this at Michael's many years ago. And it is a cute little jingle bell. So we're going to put some jingle bells on this card. Okay, now I've got an optional mat. Our card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. We have this optional dark Christmas green mat. It is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 because I wanted to back this beautiful striped paper. And it is 4 by 5 1/4, just like on the sketch. Then we go back to our sketch, and we've got this piece over here to back our little jingle bells. And I changed this up just a little bit because it's only got the one border piece, but I wanted to back this with some more of that dark green. So I cut the dark green at 1 3/4 inches, just like we have here, by 5 inches. And to go on top of that, I like this because it matches this paper. Came from the same paper pad. This I cut at 1 1/2 inches by 4 3/4 inches. So we're going to get that down right there. Isn't that so pretty and so Christmassy? So I'll get my sketch and I'll start layering these mats on my card. And we'll get to those little jingle bells next. The weather has cooled down. I'm in long sleeves. And I'm enjoying this weather so much. I know a lot of y'all are too. Because it was a hot summer, wasn't it? Scoot that over just a smidgen. There we go. Then we'll get this pretty piece on. It's perfect football weather. Okay, our base turned out really pretty. Now, I took that Martha Stewart punch and some gold cardstock, and I punched out 3 of these little gold jingle bells. And for the green bow on top, I used that same green cardstock that I backed the papers with. And let me show you the stamps and die set I used. It was this little bow set that comes with the dies. It's from the company called Global Land, and it's a great little set. It's got so many extra dies in here, and that's what this little bow is. It's an extra die. And because it's so thin and small, it doesn't have a stamp because it doesn't need one. But I've done some of these others. They stamp and die cut beautifully. And I'm going to give you a link to this set. I like the products that this company puts out, Global Land, and I get them from Amazon. So if you're interested, check the description box below the video, and you can go over and check them out for yourself and see if you might like a set of those cute stamps and dies. So, because I could not find my glue dots, I looked everywhere. I don't know what I've done with them. I took a tape runner and just ran a little bit on the back of the bows and put them on the shiny little jingle bells. Now, I couldn't use glue because it won't stick to this shiny gold cardstock. But we're going to go ahead and get these put on. Now, the back of it's plain cardstock, so it'll work fine back there. And I don't want to put too much because I don't want it to come out around the edges. I want to keep my little jingle bells nice and shiny. So I don't want to get glue smudges on the front. They would probably wipe off with something damp once they got dry, but I just rather not have them on there to begin with. I'm going to take this sentiment, put it right there so I can judge where to put these, because I want them spaced out nicely. Just a little bit, Mary. I think we'll do this bottom one, and then I can line the center one up better. Okay, and we're going to turn that one that way. That turned out pretty good. Sometimes it's hard to line things up and get them straight and get them even. But it usually does help if you put the top and the bottom first. Now we'll get this one turned this way. That looks about right. Now for our sentiment, of course, I didn't have a stamp big enough for Jingle All the Way, but I did this on my computer. And I cut it at 1/2 inch by almost 3 inches, just like on the sketch. Now this end is going to hang off onto the card. So I put a couple of extra pieces of cardstock right there. And I'm going to put glue on the rest. I've had a very busy day, y'all. And I think I left my brain somewhere. It doesn't seem to be with me right now. Right about there, I think. And then I've got this little piece of holly and berries. And I haven't told y'all this, but as some of you may know, I used to design and sell my own stamps, but I haven't done that for several years now. But I still use my stamps on occasion, and this was one of them. It's 2 little holly leaves with 3 berries. So I'm going to put that down right here. But what I want to try to do is give these to y'all digitally. Just go ahead and get them in the computer, and then y'all can just go and download them and print them out and color them for yourself. Since I can't sell you the actual stamps, I'm going to try to do that. So I'll let you know if I do that and where you can go and get them and when. but I really would like to do that. And I think I might be able to figure out how. Okay, y'all. Here is our little Jingle Bell card. I think it turned out super cute. Very shiny and festive. And I'm glad I was able to use this little piece of holly to match the holly in this very old die cuts with a view paper. But I think it turned out really cute. Okay, that finishes card number 1. Let's move on to card number 2. Well, y'all, I am so glad I decided to go through my stash and use what I have today, because I found this in the back of one of my boxes of stamps. I don't know where I got it. There's no branding on it whatsoever. And because it was in this clear bag, I have to think it was maybe one of those sets like you used to get in magazines from Joanne. That's all I can come up with. I don't know where it came from, and I don't know when I got it. And I looked at it and I thought, well, it's okay. It's cute. The little polar bear has some sweaters and some hats, a little snowman, and they all look like they have stitching. I thought, well, I'm going to stamp the polar bear and just see what he looks like. And when I stamped this little polar bear and saw him, I got so excited. So let's get on to card number 2 with this polar bear, and let me show you how cute he is. Okay, for our little polar bear card, we're going to use Cardz TV Sketch number 24. You'll find all the sketches over at my blog, cardstv.blogspot.com. There are currently 71, I think that's right, or maybe 72, and they're all free to download. So hop on over to my blog if you're interested in downloading any of these sketches. You can download one or all of them. They're all free. So we look over at our sketch. We've got our white card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I cut this green checked mat. It's 4 by 5 1/4. But I wanted it to have some red around it. So I cut this red mat. This is an optional mat. You don't have to use it. This is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. If you like the way your paper looks directly on your card base, you don't have to add another mat. But look at the difference. I love that. And this is an older sketch, so I couldn't add it when I designed it. Next, we have 2 more mats. We have this solid red one, which is 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. And to go on top, we have this red and white that looks like a snowstorm. And it's 4 3/8 by 3 1/8. I'm going to adhere these together. And it's turned at a little bit of an angle. And I'm going to have to angle it just right. Just about like that. So I'll grab my glue and get all this attached to my card. I love this red and green. It's my favorite for Christmas. I am going to be doing a few Christmas cards with maybe some blue and a prettier or a pretty green that's not a Christmas green. I did find some paper like that, and I'm going to save it for my next video. This is pretty. It's got a little village or little houses on the back. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, let me show you that polar bear. He is so cute. Look at that. I love the way he turned out. Now, I did just a tiny bit of coloring on him. I went around him with some Copic C1 Cool Gray ink. Just the tiniest little bit to help him stand out. And then for the pads on his feet and his front paws and the inside of his ears, I used the very lightest shade I had of fair skin tone. And that is all the coloring I did on him. I used a little bit of that cool gray right there on his muzzle too. But isn't he adorable? I just love that guy. Now, to put him on, right down here, I've got two little banner pieces. Well, I'm not going to use this top one because he's pretty large. So I used the bottom one, and it's got the sentiment on it. And it's a 1/2 inch by 3 5/8. And this is what he's going to be sitting on. And that's going to go right down here. And then he's going to sit right on top, and the bottom of his little paws and all are going to go right there on the sentiment. I've got a little scarf for him, which was also in that set, and I used my Spectrum Noir markers in dark red and dull green to color his little scarf. And then I had this little Christmas tree die, so I cut out 2 little Christmas trees, and I'm going to tuck those right behind him. And I think I'm going to put them down first since I've got him on foam tape, because I'm not sure I'll be able to get those right where I want them if I don't go ahead and do it first. And that'll go right up under there. Isn't he adorable? I just love him. He's so cute. Okay, I'm going to get my glue and start getting everything put down. And we'll come back, and I don't know if we need any Dazzles or anything like that. We'll come back and take a look at everything and see what we think. Go ahead and put his scarf on. Didn't he turn out cute, y'all? Now, there was more room at the bottom left than what I thought, so I cut another piece, and we're just flipping the side, or the pieces of paper. We've got the longer one now at the top, and the shorter one at the bottom. And because he's a cute little country polar bear, I cut another little piece of green and white gingham, and I'm going to put that down right there. I am in love with this little stamp. I think it is so adorable. I better use my tweezers. Get this lined up just right. I love this card. He's so cute. I don't think he needs any Dazzles or anything, do y'all? And if I find out where I got that from, I'm pretty sure, though, it did come from a magazine from Joann's. But I know there's lots of polar bear stamp and die sets out there, so I know y'all will be able to find one. I know MFT used to have lots of cute little polar bear stamps. I don't know if you can still get them or not. But there is card number 2. I love him. Let's move on to card number 3. For card number 3, we're going to use Cardz TV Sketch number 65. It's a newer sketch, and it's pretty simple. This is a pretty simple and quick but cute little card. And we're going to be using this stamp set from my stash. I think this is called Gingerbread. I've got a link for you in the description box below this video. It's a big set, and it is silicone, but it stamps great, y'all. I haven't had any trouble out of it. I will give you a link, and I got it at Amazon. we're going to be using these 3 little stockings right up here. But all of these are cute, and I have used some on cards already, but there are several more on here I haven't used, and I'm going to get to all of them before Christmas gets here, I hope. But we'll be using the stockings. Now we look at our sketch. Our card is white. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. Once again, I have that optional mat. This is some of that Christmas green. It's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I just didn't think that would look too good with all these cute little colorful stockings, but they're on a white base, and it just kind of goes right into the paper. So we've got this optional green, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and this one is 4 by 5 1/4. Isn't that cute? Got lots of little Christmas greenery on there too. So we'll get these layered together and on our card base. And then down the middle, I only had this one scrap of this left, and it's got the hole in it that's at the top of the paper pad, but I think I'm going to be able to hide it. And I did have to cut it a little bit smaller because one edge was not too good. I think it was this edge where it was in the paper pad. It had that glue and everything on it. So on the sketch, it's 2 1/2 by 5 1/4, and I had to cut it to get that glued edge off. I cut it at 2 1/4 instead of 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. So that part didn't change. And that's going to go right down the middle. And if you look at the sketch, you can see where that oval goes. It should hide that hole. So I'll be able to use this. I'll grab my glue and get all this attached to the front of my card. And like I said, this one is pretty quick and easy, but very cute. Okay, now we come over here. Our oval is 2 1/2 by 3 1/4. I use this little scalloped oval die, and it's not quite those same dimensions, but I didn't have one exactly the same. This is 3 1/2 by 2 3/8. And it's got the scallops and the stitching around it. And I love using that one. And here are those cute little stockings I stamped on here. I colored them with my Spectrum Noir markers, and I used the deep red blend and the dull green blend, and I just kind of switched the colors up. We've got this on some foam tape, and this hopefully is going to hide that little hole in that piece of cardstock. I think it will. If not, I'll just have to move it down, right? Because I can't have a hole in the front of my card. That works just about right. We'll get that on right there. That's so cute. Now we go back to our sketch, and this little sentiment border at the bottom is 1/2 inch by 4 inches. So I took a piece of cardstock, and it says the stockings were hung. I've got foam tape on either end because it's going to go across this middle piece, just like that. I used this banner first. I was stamping something else that said Merry Christmas, and I just flipped it over and reused it. Let's see. We're going to put that right about there. And that check will help me line it up. There we go. Very cute. Now I've got this little piece of holly and berries from my stamp set, And I think I'm going to add that right up there, just to give a little bit more red and green. That's so cute. What would I do without my tweezer bees? I'd be in a lot of trouble, wouldn't I? Okay, y'all. That finishes card number 3. Didn't it turn out cute? Here are the 3 cute little cards we made today using what I already had from my stash. I didn't have to buy a thing. Just went looking through my stash and I found some really cute surprises. I was so glad I did that. So for card number 1, we used Cardz TV Sketch number 17. For card number 2, which is my favorite today, we used Cardz TV Sketch number 24. And for card number 3, with the cute little stockings, we used Cardz TV Sketch number 65. Thank you all so very much for coming by today. I really hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope it's inspired you to get into your boxes and bins and totes and see what you really have, and pull it out and start making some Christmas cards. Time's getting away from us, guys. It's later than you think, so it's time to get started if you haven't done so already. Remember, I love you all. God loves you all. God bless you all, and I will see you again soon with another card. Bye now. Oh, and don't forget to check out Wayne's latest video. He cooked us a delicious pulled pork dinner. It was great. So I'll leave you a link in the description box below so you can go over and check it out. And if you haven't, give him a thumbs up and subscribe to his channel. He'd really appreciate it.